This video tutorial has been designed to teach factorization of quadratics for year 10 and 11 students. It's a lead into NCEA Level 1 Achievement Standards. My method is based on these 4 simple rules. If you can remember these rules, you will be able to factorize any quadratic very easily. I will explain the method in detail by taking some examples. The first of that is x squared plus 4x plus 3. Every time before starting factorization, we will look into the sign of last term. Here, last term is positive. If the last term is positive, obtain the middle term by addition. So I have to obtain this 4 by addition. So the factors are 3 ones are 3, 3 ones are 3, 3 plus 1 is 4. So I followed this rule number 1. If the last term is positive, obtain the middle term by addition. 3 plus 1 is 4. Now see this second rule. If the last term is positive, apply the sign of middle term to both factors. Apply the sign of middle term to both factors. Here, middle term is positive, so I have to apply positive sign to both the factors. So we are getting plus 3 plus 1, that is plus 4, and multiplication of these two, that means plus 3 times plus 1 will give you plus 3. So your factors are x plus 3, x plus 1. That's damn easy. Second question. X squared plus 11x plus 24. Again, I will look into the sign of last term. If the last term is positive, obtain the middle term by addition. I have to obtain this 11 by addition. What are the factors of 24? You may get 12 2s are 24, but 12 plus 2 is not 11. So these are not the factors we need. Another factor, 6 4s are 24, but 6 plus 4 is 10. It is not 11. So this is not our expected answer. 8 3s are 24. 8 plus 3 is 11. So I followed this rule, obtain the middle term by addition. Addition of these two is 11. That's fine. Now, apply the sign of middle term to both factors. Here, middle term is positive. So I have to apply this positive sign to these two factors. So our answer will be x plus 8, x plus 3. Third example, I should involve some negative numbers in it. X squared minus 9x plus 20. Okay. Again, look into the sign of last term. This last term is positive. If last term is positive, obtain the middle term by addition. So I have to obtain this 9 by addition. Factors of 20. 10 2s are 20, but 10 plus 2 is 12, not 9. So it is not our answer. 5 times 4, 5 4s are 20. 5 plus 4 is 9. So it is our answer. Obtain the middle term by addition. Addition of these two is 9. That's fine. Now see this. if last term is positive, here, last term is positive. If last term is positive, apply the sign of middle term to both factors. I have to apply the sign of middle term to both factors. Middle term is negative, so I have to apply the negative sign to both factors. So the answer, the factors of this quadratic are x minus 5, x minus 4. Order is not important. You can write x minus 4, x minus 5, no problem. Next question. I will take very small numbers today. X squared minus 5x plus 6. Okay. Again, the last term is positive. If the last term is positive, obtain the middle term by addition. Factors of 6. 6 ones are 6, but their addition is 7. We want 5. So these are not our factors. 3 twos are 6. 3 plus 2 is 5. That's good. Now, apply the sign of middle term to both factors. Here, middle term is negative. So I have to apply negative sign to these factors. So factors are x minus 3, x minus 2. I think you got the idea how to make use of these rules. Now in my next slide, I am going to take some examples which have negative sign over here at the last term. I will take negative sign and I will make use of these two rules. Question 1. To factorize, we have the quadratic, that is x squared plus 4x minus 21. Okay, it's a quadratic. It's of this type: square term, x term, constant term. So there are 3 terms: squared, x, and constant. It is called quadratic, right? We want to factorize it. So you have to look into the sign of last term. Here, the last term is negative. So we will make use of these two rules. If the last term is negative, obtain the middle term by subtraction. So here, I have to obtain this 4 by subtraction. Very easy. 7 3s are 21. 7 minus 3 is 4. That's fine. Another thing is, if last term is negative, apply the sign of middle term to the bigger factor. If last term is negative like this, apply the sign of middle term to bigger factor. Middle term is positive. Apply the sign of middle term to the bigger factor and opposite sign to smaller factor. So I have to take negative for this smaller factor. So we got the answer actually. We got the factors of this quadratic: x plus 7, x minus 3. If you want to verify, we can do that. Product of these two, plus 7 times minus 3. The product of positive and negative is negative. 7 times 3 is 21. So you got this. So everything is fine. Second question. X squared minus 3x minus 10. We want to factorize this quadratic. First of all, you have to look into the sign of last term. Last term is negative. If the last term is negative, obtain the middle term by subtraction. So I have to obtain this 3 by subtraction. Factors of 10. The first is 10 ones are 10. But 10 minus 1 is 9, not 3. So these are not our factors. 10. 5 twos are 10. 5 minus 2 is 3. Oh, we got the answer. Obtain the middle term by subtraction. Subtraction of this 5 minus 2 is 3. Product of these 2 is 10. Okay. Now this sign application. If the last term is negative like this, if the last term is negative, apply the sign of middle term to the bigger factor. Apply the sign of middle term to the bigger factor. This is my bigger factor. It needs the sign of middle term, this. And opposite sign to the smaller factor. So 2 will be positive. So I got the factors x minus 5, x plus 2. Third question. X squared plus 7x minus 16. It's a little bigger number, 60. But we will look into the sign of last term. Last term is negative. If the last term is negative, obtain the middle term by subtraction. So I have to bring this 7 by subtraction. 60. 10 6 are 60. But 10 minus 6 is 4. It is not 7. So these are not our factors. Leave them. 15 4 are 60. 15 minus 4 is 11, not 7. So this is not our answer. Even 30 times 2 is 60. But 30 minus 2 is 28, not the 7. So this is not my answer. So what it will be? Please prepare your table nicely. 12, 5 are 60. 12 minus 5 is 7. That's fine. Now, which sign is to be given to this 12 and which sign is to be given to this 5? It depends on this rule number 4. If the last term is negative, this, apply the sign of middle term to the bigger factor. Apply the sign of middle term to the bigger factor. And opposite sign to smaller. This, opposite sign to smaller. So these are our factors. X plus 12, x minus 5. Next. And that is x square. I should take the same example. Okay, that will teach you great. X square minus 7x minus 60. It is almost identical, right? Only the difference is there in the sign of middle term. So you will come to know what this rule means actually. As the last term is negative, obtain the middle term by subtraction. So subtraction must be 7. So I am using these factors. 12 5 are 60. 12 minus 5 is 7. Now use of this rule. If last term is negative, like this, apply the sign of middle term to the bigger factor. Apply the sign of middle term to the bigger factor and opposite to smaller. Here we have done the same thing. In this question, question number 3, apply the sign of middle term to the bigger factor and opposite to smaller. Apply the sign of middle term to the bigger factor and opposite to smaller. So the factors are x minus 12, x plus 5. That's all for the day. Daily, I am going to post you at least one video related to grade 10 and many videos will be related to NCEA level 1. I have just randomly picked up this particular chapter. If you need any video of particular chapter which is going on in your school, please drop it into my chat box, okay? In the comment box itself, I will prepare the video for you immediately. I will try to help you maximum. Take care.